My fellow Liberians, once again, the careless and irresponsible attitude of the Liberian government is being exposed. Under this George Weah-led government, Liberia continues to be internationally disgraced, shamed, and laughed at. Giving people justice and ending impunity are not issues over which any responsible government ought to wait to be publicly chastised by its international partners. These are things responsible governments do to cleanse the soul of a nation and to keep countries secure, stable, and peaceful. We've all seen what it means for our country to break down and become lawless. And so, Liberia does not need to wait and be reminded to do things we need to do to build a more just society that will punish crimes. This is the only way to make our society truly law-abiding. However, it is hard to stop stealing in government when the people who should be stopping the stealing and setting the good examples by not stealing are actually the rogues. It is also hard to punish anyone for crimes, however bad, when the leaders are looking for special favors from the criminals or are themselves benefiting from the crimes. Whether it is done by presidents or ministers, whether it is done by a friend, opposition, or relative, stealing from the people is wrong. We cannot continue to pretend that one day stealing in government will stop by itself. We have to stop it ourselves because as we continue to see, it is keeping too many of our people poor. Whether it is done by warlords or presidents, killing innocent people mysteriously or in the name of war is also wrong. To stop it, we must investigate seriously and punish anyone involved. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We must stop the stealing in government. We must stop the looting of our country. We must stop the killing of innocent people. We must end impunity for crimes. We must become a more just and safer society. I feel very strongly about this, and I know that we can do it. Placing individuals above the law and not holding each other fully accountable for crimes are practices that have kept us backward for far too long. This is why I support the establishment of a war crimes court and a court on economic crimes. These courts will help us find justice for victims. Hopefully, they will lay painful memories of loved ones and innocent souls to their deserved eternal rest. I believe they will also lift the weight of the shoulders of accused persons who believe themselves to be innocent or wrongly accused. A court is not just a place to seek punishment. It is a place to find truth, to award justice, and to set the innocent or wrongly accused free. Importantly, these courts will help us heal, be reconciled, and not continue to live in fear of each other. And especially for the Court on Economic Crimes, I believe it ought to not be limited to only the commission of economic crimes during the war, but that it must have jurisdiction to deal with past, current, and future economic crimes, such as stealing from the people and passing deals that cheat Liberia and Liberians. Finally, I know establishing these courts will not be easy. There are many questions to be answered. Public opinions and concerns differ. Lawyers tell me there are a lot of things we will need to do. But I support the establishment of these courts because I believe it is the right thing to do for our country. It will help us to change for the better and to be more accountable to each other. I also know that turning a blind eye to crimes in the name of peace will give us no peace. And so, even if it is hard, even if it scares us, we must find a way to do it. We must also find the help we will need to do it. But in the end, we must do it for ourselves and for our children. We have to change if we will become a country that will give justice fairly and blindly to all who seek it. From rape and the acceptance of bribes by judges and other public officials to crimes against humanity and stealing from the Liberian people, we must be a country that will hold everyone accountable. When we do this, our children and their children will live in a more just, peaceful, prosperous, and reconciled society than we have today. We owe this to ourselves and to future generations. I thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you there. Good morning, wherever you are. This is J. Randy here. I'm back home today, so I would like to say a big welcome to you guys over there. And please join me and let's have this tabletop conversation. It is very important that at the pre-season of our political journey to yet another election, I want to use this opportunity to always put my 2 cents in, because I know in the end I will be damn right. I will be right because my analysis on Liberian politicians, my analysis on Liberian political process, and my analysis on Liberia is based on a long history of observation, data collection, and you name the rest. Tonight, I am here to present to you a conversation that Mr. Cummings had today on Sky TV. I'm not going to show you any video of Sky TV because the guys and myself, especially the chief presenter of the show, he himself has some issue and he needs to do some house cleanings before, he and I can, before I can present any show of his here. But the purpose for which I'm presenting this presentation as part of my day today from Sky TV or SKTV is because some of you guys who believe in what I do decided to send that video my way for my own opinions analysis. So I'm here today to present to you the interview that Cummings had today. And I had taken few excerpts from that interview, and I'm going to frame it or title it as Cummings' political leader. Cummings' political career is beginning to show some dishonesty. Cummings' political career, it is beginning to show some dishonesty. Don't take my word for it. I have the evidence here. We're going to analyze it, and you're going to see it for yourself. That's it, Randy. I don't come here to give you empty talk. I had done enough scrutinizing. I had done enough analysis of what I'm about to present to you, and I'm going to theme it. I'm going to title it as Cummings' political career is beginning to show some dishonesty, and I want you to know that today. As far as Cummings' private and corporate life in America, there was not an easy way for Cummings to show any dishonesty because the system where we live in this country, it creates check and balance in the United States. So no matter who you are, if you want to risk your future, you want to risk your career, you can go ahead and try to do something of that bad behavior in the United States. But now Cummings has retired from corporate life. Cummings is now transitioning or had transitioned into politics, especially Liberian politics. But some of the things that he said in the past and some of the things that he's doing now, when you look at the past and the present, you see some contradiction And those are things that I am really studying about all the politicians to bring that to you guys, my supporters here. I don't care about the other thousands of people out there. No, I don't care for them. I'm more worried about you guys who are very measured in your thought, in your school or thought, and in your analysis for me to present the things to you, because I focus on the 20-80 rule. The 20% will have more information to provide to the 80%. So it is up to you to be part of the 20%. It's up to you to be part of the 80%. But I see myself as someone who is part of the what? The 20%. And the whole world we live through, only 20% of the world control the entire population in this country here, all right, and in the world. So it's part of a global community, and I found myself on Facebook as part of the conversation here. So what I want you to take from me here, you just listen to an audio of Arizona Cummings. I decided to start that audio with the show because that audio will come back to bite Cummings in the butt, and I want you to be here. They're going to show the inconsistency of who Cummings is. All right. So we are going to start the interview here. I'm going to find a photo that I would like to share here with Cummings. Let me look in my database here and let me see what I can find here as far as photo goes. Let me see what I have here of Cummings. There should be a photo here for him. So I'm looking in my library. Okay, I see one here. Good. I see one photo here of him in my library. So I'm going to upload that for you guys. Excuse me. And I'm going to move the little one from here. So I'm going to hide this one here because the other one is loading up here. All right. So I think I got this one here now for Cummings. So Cummings and I are going to be side by side here. All right. So let us begin the conversation with Arizona Cummings. So today he had an interview. I have dissected the interview and I took out what I believe are key points that I would like to make on the show. And I want you to take the key points as a guide to what we are going to be discussing. I'm telling you now that Cummings' political career is beginning to reveal on earth, show some or is showing some dishonesty. Yes, he's not being honest in what he says. And most of the things have been recorded. By the way, the recording you just listened to, that was done on May the 24th, 2021. Every time the politician come out and make statement, I grab my little phone here and I capture these things in here. Yes, I captured in here. So Cummings is about, because I just incorporated that into this. So let's go through the conversation now. All right. So not to waste your time here, let's go through the conversation here. And let me say hi to everyone. I see John is here. John Way is here. He said hi, Remy. Hey, Randy. And I see Fred G is here. He said, welcome back. Thank you, my brother. Welcome back. Yes, I had a very good ride today. I had fun with myself and what have you. So I would like to say thank you to you guys here. So we are going to dissect Cummings today. All right. And I want you to walk into the conversation with one thing on your mind, and that is Cummings' political career is becoming dishonest. Yes, his political career is becoming dishonest. I don't want you to just take my words for me to give you empty words. So let's start the ball rolling here, all right? So let's see here, and let me say hi to my good old friend Thomas Awaji here. I just saw him here. So we are going to analyze what I captured from the interview today, and then we're going to compare and contrast what I am saying that he's becoming very dishonest. So many of you guys who watched the show today, there were 26 and some 1,000 people that watched the show. So for me here, I'm going to do the stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, because I want us to, do a fishbone analysis of Cummings' problem. All right. So let's make progress here. All right. So let me begin to play for you guys the audio here now. All right. So let me open up. So I'm going back in my library now, and I'm going to find Cummings here. Let me see the library opening up here. All right, the library is opening up here. As you can see here, just for your FYI, this is my phone here with all the library here. And, so we are discussing Cummings right now. So Arizona Cummings, let's listen to the interview now, guys.
Before, but this time around was I understand was around the western part of Liberia. What was your experience and what was the mission? Yes. So, Sekou, thanks. And
all right, so let me try to do something here because I want to make sure that you get the audio and I get the audio as well too. All right. So I want to make sure you get the audio and I get the audio. I have the video here. And I think I will attempt to show the video for you guys. All right. So I'm going to break the rules. Yes, I'm going to break the rules. I don't know how clear the audio is from here. Yes, I don't know how clear the audio is, but I'm going to put myself on mute. Sorry, no sound. Sorry. Yes, somebody, I'm trying to answer myself here. Sorry, no sound. So I'm very, very sorry that I was not able to get to you guys. So I'm going back again. Sorry. So let me apologize to you guys. Sorry, let me apologize to you guys. I have myself on mute and I'm actually using my audio. I have the video here. All right. I have the video here. That's the video over there. But I thought it was not to play the video on my show here. Yes, I'm not going to play that video on my show here. So I just took a few episodes from the video and that is on the audio here. So I'm not going to play the video here. I'm just going to play the show here. All right. So let's listen again. My apologies for not being able to. Yeah, Tommy said you muted. You're right, Tommy. You are right. So I'm back now. So my apologies, and let me apologize to you guys for that. Let me apologize to you guys for that. It was my error. Yes, let me apologize for that. All right. So let us start the show again. Let us start the question. So the question is today. Sekou is asking Cummings about his visit to the western part of the country. So let's listen in here. All right. Let's listen here. All right.
Well, this time around was, I understand, was around the western part of Liberia. What was your experience and what was the mission? Yes. So, Sekou, thanks. And I like the three pockets of conversations with.
So the question here is, what was the mission? What was the goal? All right. So let's play that again. I want you to capture that because there's something important in there. All right. So let's listen again.
Before, but this time around was, I understand, was around the western part of Liberia. What was your experience and what was the mission? Yes. So, Sekou, thanks. And I like the three pockets of conversations we're going to have. But with regards to the tour, as you know, Steve, Sam, I've been traveling the length and breadth of our country, trying to reintroduce myself to people, to make my case to them for the opportunity to serve them as their leader. And the trips have all gone very, very well. There are some common themes, across Liberia. And, unfortunately, I describe it as that anywhere in Liberia, our people are suffering. And this suffering does not discriminate between, whether you Gola, Dio, Mano, Kran, Gribble. It doesn't discriminate because you're man or woman by gender. But
all right. So yeah, is my take on the first answer that he provided. Cummings had been around for a very long time. He left from here and went to Liberia, I believe, at the end of 2016. He has been in the country now for over 5 years. He had traveled most part of the country. He has also interacted with the people. So his experience, his assessment of the current situation, the ongoing situation in the country is becoming redundant now. You guys out there, I'm sure many of you guys have heard Cummings always saying the people suffering, the people this, the people that. We know what the problems are. Yes. Cummings also know what the problems are. I don't want to hear the people suffering too much, the people suffering too much. No. Cummings been on the ground for a very long time. He lost a major election. He should have come up with a post-election result to determine why he lost the election. And that post-election result by now should have given him the opportunity to be able to start looking for a solution for the problem. If the people in Cape Mount are suffering, what are the category of suffering? Are they lack of job? Yes. What can you do, Cummings, to help the people get job? He's not telling you that. The reason he's not telling you that because I don't think Cummings got a plan that identify every county problems and what are the solutions. They step towards finding a solution to the problem. So what Cummings does all the time, he comes on any platform, you always want to say the people are suffering, the people are suffering. That is very redundant now. Yes, that is becoming repetitious. That is becoming very unpopular now. You can't come every time and see somebody say, oh, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Yeah, we know you're hungry, but what can you do? So that aspect of the people are suffering, don't buy that idea. We need to see action plan now. Whenever Cummings come to stand or sit before anybody, let Cummings be able to tell you just a little bit in 2 to 3 nanoseconds if the people are suffering, what are the category of suffering the people are going through? What will the ANC do in order to minimize the suffering? What plan does he have? He have that he will be able to carry out this plan. He's not giving it to you. He just tell you the suffering is too much, the suffering is too much. I don't buy into that. It's becoming redundant. Let me progress here.
You're young or old, but whether you're Christian or Muslim, our people are suffering across the country. And so whether I'm in the north central part of the country, the southeast, or the western part, we see the same challenges our people are faced with: bad roads, no running water, electricity, infrastructure.
So you identifying the problem. You identifying the problem. We know the problem. How many of you guys listen to me right don't know that we have bad roads in the country? How many of you guys don't know that we have problems? Even some of you guys are doing your best every day. When you watch some video clip of people in Liberia catching hard time, what do? You go into your own pocket, you send $50, you send $20, because why? You see the problem, but the money you're sending, you are trying to minimize what? The suffering of the people. Cummings keep coming back and telling you the people are suffering. You go to this place, you go to that place here. No, it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. If we are running a better campaign, he can defeat Cummings big time. Because we are, no matter what they're doing now, that is not accurate, 100% up to the Liberian expectation, they are beginning to solve some of the problems. Yes, they are beginning to solve some of the problems. Not all the problems, they are beginning to solve some of the problems. Cummings is not providing solution. He's talking about the problem. How many of you guys have a problem that you think someone that you close to that need to help you don't know of? You can't keep going to people and say, I got my problem. You need solution to your problem. Cummings is not giving any reason why I think he is the best person for Liberia. No. So far, what he has explained, if I were to pick between Cummings facing Weah and Boka, I don't know what Boka has said, but Cummings will not be my choice right now because Cummings is not convincing what I think the ordinary Liberian people need to understand. The people know they're suffering. They know they're suffering. Then why they inbox you? Why they asking you for money? They know their problem. The reason they're asking you for money is because they want solution. The reason they want you to help them is because they want solutions. They know their problem, and you know their problem. So what do you do next as a leader? You begin to strategize, you begin to plan. But Cummings doesn't have the strategy of people to do that. Let's wait and see. Let's go ahead.
Healthcare, education, etc. What I found that was it's kind of two emotions, Sekou and Steve. On the one hand, I was angry by this visit, but I was also optimistic. Angry because, Cape Mount is where a lot of our gold resources are. There's even this town called Gold Camp that I visited. There's another town called Kinjoy. And you almost can see the gold leaving Liberia in the trucks. And yet, the people are living in abject poverty.
Okay, so you identify the problem. If I.J. Randy were to go to Cape Mount now and see the gold leaving the place, what do you think I need to be doing? Asking the people, what is going on here? What are the concessions that have been signed here? Cummings is part of the CPP, right? Cummings is part of the CPP. He sees the problem taking place in the county. The mineral resources that's supposed to benefit the people are leaving the county, especially the gold. What he's supposed to have done. So you know what? I went over there, Moses and Sekou. I saw what's going on, and I think it's a concern for me because the very people that we want to protect, their natural resources have been taken away from them. I'm going to engage the CPP, member of the House of Representatives within the CPP, because the CPP includes the Unity Party. Unity Party got many members who are within the national legislature, right? So Cummings went over there and saw what he saw. As part of the discussion here, he should be talking solution. He should be talking in a way how he's going to find a solution to the problem. A natural resource leaving the county because the people, and the people are not benefiting from it. He need to come and say, you know what, I think the lack of regulations, the lack of corporate social responsibility, the deal that was signed, I know it's going to be very difficult to reverse, but we need to find a best suitable way that we can sit down. So why it is true that I'm angry, I went over there, I wasn't happy. I think one of the reasons why things are the way it is, the agreement that was signed, the concession that was signed, I don't think it was a good deal. But what can we do to at least renegotiate if the possibility exists? Because our company will be looking at renegotiating any concession to see whether there is a leeway that we can renegotiate to get our people to have some of the share. Then that's why our company is standing. But you come here, oh, I saw the thing going, I feel sorry for. That is an inexperienced way. That means he had no clue. You see the problem happening. When you see your home leaking water, what are you going to do? You're going to go out there in the public and start telling people, oh, my home is leaking water and it's going in other people's yard. No. You've seen the problem. You need to start to find solution to the problem. Cummings been around now for a long time. He wants to be president. How can he just go around and see things and come by and can't tell a story here? The story that Cummings is telling, he want to tell it to the people who don't understand some of these things and how it works. But on the show, I will make sure you understand. When you see the problem, there is a problem solution called A3, letter A as in apple, 3 as the number. You identify the problem and you begin to find solution to the problem. You don't have to get a detail, but let the people know that I see mineral in terms of gold on large trucks leaving Cape Mount. The coming administration will make sure that we evaluate how the process is taking place. I will call on the legislature of that particular place, including the senators. I will call on the representative and the senators and begin to have a conversation. Matter of fact, the CPP include representative and senator from that county. When I get back to Liberia, I will be engaging them to get a full understanding of what is happening to the people that they represent and the people that I want to represent, because we need to understand what went wrong, what can we do to fix the problem, what are the lessons learned. And then you leave it as that, because that way the people who listen to you will know that you got a solution to the problem that you see. But all Cummings is doing, just giving you guys the problem, It's not for me, my friend. It's not for me. See, Cummings is more involved with corporate rather than being a public servant. That's one of the weaknesses of Cummings. So let me progress here again, guys.
And so there was a lot of anger, vexation, that why is this happening? The other emotion, though, was one of optimism, because it says, look, it means we got the resources. So it managed well, it managed differently. we can change the lives of our people and of our country. And so
it managed well, it managed differently. How can he play with the words and not giving you a accurate reason how it managed well? Who managed it well? And who didn't manage it well? And what are you going to do? Did any administration scrutinize us and mismanage it? Or if we are mismanaging it, and what will you do as Cummings? What will you do? What will you do? He's just giving you what is happening. What he saw is what he giving you. He's not giving you any solution. For me, no. Cummings did not pass that particular explanation convincingly for me. No, I need solution. When you come to me with problems, I need us to identify your problem and begin to work towards the solution of your problem. And I want you to understand how we're going to solve the problem. Cummings is not ready yet. Cummings hasn't been tested by people. He's afraid of certain people. And one of those guys is the man you're looking at right here. He's afraid to sit down and have a conversation. He can do it. I get Cummings only 2 minute conversation. He will learn a lot because he doesn't understand how things work in the public sector. You guys can disagree with all you want. It's up to you guys. Let's listen more.
The West, I had this very different emotion, anger and optimism at the same time. And more recently, I was in Dhaka, camp, our country. And so that visit to the West, I had this very different emotion, anger and optimism at the same time. And more recently, I was in Dhaka, campaigning with the CDP candidate, Lawrence Swat, but in District 1. And similarly, in my mind, Yekepa Lanko, and not Lanko, but Aslam Patel is there. And yet, you look at the power of our country and our people, you wonder, we got to do things differently. So, but it was
all right. The deal between the Liberian government and Estela Mattel was just signed recently, right? CPP is all over the county. They got representation in the Senate. Who is from Nima County that is part of the CPP? How were they relating the deal that was about to be signed by the Liberian government? What light did they throw on that deal? What information were provided to you and me for us to understand from the representative? Because CPP, the Collaborating Political Party, they're bringing themselves together to be able to find solution to the problem, right? So when the deal from Estela Mattel were about to renegotiate or re-sign, it's from Nima County. Is there any member of the CPP that was part of that? How much information did they give to you and I that Cummings will be able to use to say, you know what, we missed the opportunity. We knew that the thing was coming on. And you see, Cummings is only telling a story, but not finding a solution to the problem. He can do it for his supporters out there, but I want you to understand that he is not in the position to find any solution to the problem because the CPP, since they were established, you remember what I told you guys the last time about leadership crisis? That's exactly what CPP is up to. They are fighting about leadership or fighting over leadership. And what's happening right now, they are allowing the good things to go by because they're fighting over leadership. Very greedy and selfish people. So that Nima thing is quiet. How many of you guys don't know about Nima? I was born in Nima County. When my father worked for Yekepa. One thing I can tell you, when they first opened that JVC convention, joint venture, where they were extracting the mineral from that place, what I know today, if I knew that, and if I were in the age that I am in today in Nima, I would have said to the government of Liberia, we need a post-remediation plan. When they got empty all the mineral from the mountain, they need to level it so that we can use that used land for something else. There was nothing in the post-remediation plan. Coming, being in Liberia, he know Nima, he know Boma, no places were mismanaged by the contract that was signed. What do you think Cummings is supposed to be doing? Have expert or people who are now in his camp and begin to look at the missed opportunity that past administration did not capture and be able to bring people together who will begin to assess these things. You can just be going out there and say, oh, I've seen it. You don't have all the experience. You want to be a leader? Have people in your orbit who will feed you with essential information on every sector that you need so that when you sit down, you can be able to articulate the issue and discuss it with some level of understanding and providing the solution to the problem. They don't have those things over there. They sit on people back in the backyard and just stuck in the darkness like they are some kind of vampire. They don't even visit the country. They are not even engaged with the situation on the ground. They got no clue, but they want for Cummings to come and speak. People love entertainment. Liberians love to be entertained. They don't grab the concept. Why they don't grab the concept? Because many of them problems are in the hands of other people where they live, the country they live in. People are helping them. They go to work every day. They get their pay every week or every 2 weeks or every month. They feel comfortable. So when it comes to understanding the nitty and the gritty of the country situation, what are the solutions, you can forget it because they don't live there. But they can tell you the story during the 1990 war, how they were running from one kitchen to another because they lived in that experience and they were trying to get out. So everything they did was well calculated, well measured, but they are out of that zone now. So everything is now of no significance to them. So let me progress here.
Visit to the West. I was very warmly welcomed across the spectrum. And again, this is something we'll continue to do, to visit the length and breadth of Liberia, because I want to know our country, I want to know our people, I want to understand the challenges, I want to spend time with them, live in the town, the villages, so we get to know each other. Because if you want to lead the people, you got to experience what they experience as an incentive to change that. So it was a good visit. So specifically, where, that's one last question on this traveling around.
Now, I want you to listen to the other question here too, right? So Sekou is about to ask a very important question, or he about to ask an opinion question. I want you to listen to what he's about to say. Listen to what he's about to say, because I have something to say towards that question and also towards coming answer. So listen to what Sekou is about to say. Please pay attention to Sekou here. We are dissecting what went on our show. You're sending the video. I am trying to give you guys what I made of that video, all right? So listen to Sekou question, all right? Listen.
Since 2017, you have been the only, if my recollection is right, you have been the only candidate that ran in 2017. And afterward, you started to travel all over Liberia. The last time as the chairman of the CPP, we saw you traveling across the Southeast. You started from Grambassa, Roses, and the rest of it in Kimbaitu, Nimba, and all the way, and you travel a lot of places. And why is it that you are traveling more than even the person that won the election? Because somebody who won the election did not even go to tell the people thank you, but you lost. But yet you are going to the people everywhere in all the countries. Why?
Now, did you hear his question? He is saying to Mr. Cummings, you have traveled throughout the country. Even though you lost, you continue to go from place to place. Why is it that the person who won the election did not travel? Now, I will not tell you what my points are. I want you to listen to Cummings, because Cummings will provide some hint to what I'm about to say. So let's listen to Cummings right now.
For the fact that we did relatively well given a short period of time, but also to continue to share the message of a change, the fact that we need to fundamentally change our country. And so again, you're correct. The president went, I think, after almost 3 years as president before he actually toured. And none of them.
So what did he just say? Cummings did not say the president did not travel. He said after 2 to 3 years. And in all fairness to Mr. Weah, even though he screwed up in 2018, when I asked him to start the tour before COVID, because COVID came at the height and peak of 2020, 2018, I used to call on the president to take that tour, because the same year Donald Trump won that election, he took a tour, visited Pennsylvania and other places that voted for him, strangely. And I was asking Mr. Weah, he never did. So Cummings is acknowledging that Weah did visit, but it was after 2 or 3 years. Weah excuse? Well, I procrastinated to not visit early. COVID came in, we're confused and trying to have problems. But you see, Sekou Conan think he want to spend something to go after Weah. That is very biased on his part. He will not like that. That's why many of them don't like me. Instead of him saying, you know what, the president took 3 years to travel the country, but you are doing your travel. What are you learning? But he trying to put the president in a position, oh, the president, he got elected and he hasn't visited the people. That's a blatant lie. That's a lie. The president did visit the country, the different counties, but it was not at the appropriate time that you and I felt was the right time for him to go. So Sekou, that's one of the reasons why they don't like me on Facebook, because I tell them like it is. He sent a wrong misinformation to the people that listen to him. But thank God that Cummings was able to at least resuscitate that question and came up with the acceptable answer. And again, sedition, when you're out there, I'm not talking for you. I'm not talking for you. I'm going to try to make my people here to understand some of the misindications. So if you're sedition, listen to me, just keep your cool. Keep your cool. Keep your cool. Because when I come with Jefferson Koji right now, let me ask you guys one question. So saying your sedition, let me ask you guys one question here, right? Can you guys tell me, sedition, what prior experience Jefferson Koji had before becoming city mayor? You're thinking about that question. Sedition, if you're out there, what prior work experience Jefferson Koji ever occupied before he became mayor? Think about that. Let's stay with our show right now, right?
Political leaders have taught as extensive as I have, and I will continue to do so. Welcome back to FCTV, Mr. Cummings. You've made some assessments. You've been to.
So Moses is about to ask his question. All right. Moses is about to ask a question. By the way, just so you don't know, Moses used to be on my show most of the time. He apprenticed on my show, and I think he is doing well out there. But I want you to listen to Moses' question too. I am going to give you a hint on his question. So listen to Moses' question. Let's pick out the little eyebrow that falls on the ground from your eyes. That's where my attention are. I'm looking at the big beard that is scraped from your hair, it falls down. No. My analysis always go after the little tiny bit of hair that falls from your skin. That's where I go, because I can expand on it and make a big issue out of it, and it will be right. So let's listen to Moses' question here. Steve Bullitt, let's listen to your question, all right?
Parts of the country. If elected president, Mr. Cummings, what would be your first, I'll say maybe, what would you attack, or what's a problem that you think you will be focused on more to benefit our people in the rural area? There are a few things we'll do to benefit people in a rural area. One is going to be around agriculture and making sure we're supporting our farmers, men and women farmers in the rural area, because that's their primary source of livelihood, is their farms. Making sure they're making money from their farms, making sure they got the fertilizers, the seeds, the equipment, forming more co-ops, so we can put equipment to help plow the fields and plant the seeds. So agriculture will be an area we'll focus on in the rural area. But we'll also focus still on education and health. Health was a common theme here across the country. The healthcare centers, the clinics, they don't have drugs. Basic drugs as paracetamol is not available. And as you know, with all your health team, you can have all the money in the world, all the education in the world, all the food in the world. If you don't have your health, those things don't matter. So in addition, agriculture, healthcare, and then education. We got to educate our people, provide them the skills. But those are the things in the rural area we're going to focus on. Agriculture is so important.
All right. So if you're a citizen listening out there, if a designer company is running next to George Weah or trying to take George Weah, that is a piece of cake for you. Because the CDC government is already in charge of the agriculture sector. So what company is saying will take care of rural agriculture, whatever Mr. Weah is doing. But the government got a lot of incompetent officials over there. And just for the sake of the conversation and for you guys listening to me, what the government needs to do now, and Cummings fails to realize, because when Cummings came to the agriculture sector, what Cummings should have said, number one, throughout the length and breadth of the country, the agricultural activities across the country is at this percentage, very, very low. We are not even able to feed communities within each county because of the low support for agriculture. That way, he will be sending challenge to the CDC government. Because when you come up with data, that data is going to challenge somebody. Just the football game, when you tell the man Barcelona leading 3-1 against AC Milan, you already gave the data score. Barcelona is 3 up, AC Milan is 1 down. So AC Milan, if you support them, they will have to double up to make sure they get 2 of that score to even out, or get 3 of that score to pass Barcelona. So Cummings answered a very ambiguous, he presented his question, he answered in a very ambiguous way. It is unclear. So you see, this is some of the problem, or one of the problems that Cummings continues to reveal to himself. When you speak of any sector area, let your expert be able to provide you with the data. Cummings been in the country for a very long time. He take the country tour. I mean, the county tour. My question to him is, when he's going on the county tour, what are the list of things that he's going to look for? Because Cummings will bring the data to you guys in the diaspora here to be able to give you guys a clue. Because when you have the data, then you'll be able to find solution. When you know your gallon in your car, the gas mileage say is high. Why you think that gas mileage on that car is telling you that the gas is high? Because it's giving you a feedback to the driving you're doing, how much gas you're burning, where your gasoline is. So it's giving you the data back. If your brake is going bad, why the check engine light comes on in your car? Because it's giving you a data as to what's going on. So you see how data play and apply a role in our life. Cummings is like a car you driving with all the dashboard off, nothing there. That means I just in a car driving, but you're not seeing what happening to the car. So when he come and say, you know, in the rural area, we talk about agriculture, we talk about this, we talk about that. How will you know which county really need agriculture more than the other county? He's not giving you the data. Very, very poor. He came and talk about the healthcare sector. What are the challenges we have in the healthcare? Is it like primary healthcare for little kids? Or is it like pediatric healthcare? Is how many women are giving birth and dying? What are the what are the different category of community center, health center we have in the country? By what percentage? When you asking about how many healthcare centers do we have in River G? And how many nurses and doctors do we have? He should be able to come up with some data to give to us. Because when you get the data, you will know exactly what is happening in the county. He's not talking about that. Education. How many children between age 5 to 10 years old are in school across the county? At least give us some estimate so we can know the educational level. But they're talking, we want to do this, we want to do this. So you know what? Yeah, it's an opportunity for the we are government. And you can take it free. All right. Y'all need to start coming up with your statistics now. Y'all been with it for over 4 years. Going on 4 years. Y'all need to start giving statistics now over the 4 years you guys been in there. What you guys are doing county by county. All right? Because what Cummings just did, he screwed up himself. He opened himself for a debate defeat. Yes, a debate defeat. He opened himself because he's not giving data. He just giving a blank check discussion to you. And you can go in there and figure it out. And that's exactly what we're doing here right now. So let's listen to him more.
Yeah, education and then roads, because if you're gonna do agriculture, people gotta have the roads to take that, farm to market roads to take their product to.
I beg you, let me come to roads here, all right? How many times people from the opposition have mentioned that road is not the key thing? See, one thing I think Cummings is missing out here is when you talk about road, say, look, I know the president is doing well with roads, but my assessment shows that there are some needed road we need immediately. And there are some roads that are making progress. So I know the government is doing things, but yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to prioritize the most needed county that need road, farm to agriculture road, because we know they're doing road already, but they're not really specifying which area need road and which area don't need road. So while it is true that they are building the road, I want to target areas that don't have the means to a better road, but there is a road, and we're going and improve on that. Unlike this government just came and just started wasting money in different areas to make roads. I will specifically look at the need of each county and the community in each county to see what needs to be done. Because road is not just a road. We must have a road for a reason. He's not saying it. Oh, we need road, found agriculture project. That is another plus for we are, because we will come out and tell you, look, man, what are you talking about, bro? We have been building road in our place. You see all the pictures around here? So, guys, what you think here? They man want to take my job. He's talking about the road. Don't we have road over there? What my name? Pyro Medicine, right? Yeah, okay. Case closed. And Cummings is defeated over there. This is the reality here, my friend. When Cummings don't have the right people around him, he will be a loser. Yes, he will.
And so for rural Liberia, those are the areas we focus. Of course, ultimately we want electrification and running water, but those will be the priorities for rural Liberia from a Cummings administration. All right.
So he talk about water. Water will not be a priority for him right now. All right. So he look at agriculture, the health, and education. As far as electricity go, it will not be his agenda. It's not on his top 3 list. It's going to be at the bottom. Yes. So if you are an environmentalist, you can forget it. You see, I will tell you guys, the old school guys that Cummings then, Ellen then, a little bit of George Weah then, that didn't really go to school to understand the environment. when it comes to protecting the environment, they put less attention to that. And this is where now our great Cummings, when it comes to what Coca-Cola really destroying other countries. When you do the SEC report, the Security and Exchange report, you look at the legal aspect. Coca-Cola had damaged a lot of communities across the world for bad environmental management, mismanagement. So when you're coming talking about, oh, we're not talking about water, what are the 7 or 8 Millennium Challenge program? Isn't Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is chief when she was president of having a better clean water system? But look what Cummings is telling you. Yeah, you know, electricity and road and that. So Cummings is not well informed about what it takes to have a better country. You can put the roads over there. You can put a healthcare. How a healthcare affected when people are drinking dirty water? It increase the health risks in the community, in the county, right? So when you say we want a better healthcare, what are the primary category of having a better healthcare? Is to provide the better community with less essential things that will prevent any condition that will lead to a health crisis. He doesn't understand those things there. So you see Cummings' problem now. He's not president yet. You see the problem? You see the problem there? That is the problem there. Water's bad drinking water is related to a health issue. What will have the WHO? The World Health Organization. What are their primary functions? To look in every community to make sure that safe drinking water is part of it. But he's like, oh, electricity and water and what have you. That's it right there. Another problem for Cummings.
It has to do with something that was said by the city mayor, Jefferson Koji, most recent interview after he met with former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I'll paraphrase what he said. He alluded to the fact that in Sierra Leone, the leaders are elected. Specifically, he was still speaking about the city mayor. In the Ellis Cummings administration, would you empower our people in the rural area and other parts of Liberia, such as them being able to elect their own leaders, as opposed to you picking the leader? The answer is
now, I don't know on what basic Steve Bodie asked the question, but I think Steve Bodie, he need to understand the government structure of our country. And I'm not going to tear him down 100%. Ellis Cummings does not have the executive power, executive order to change the Constitution. That is to say people should be elected, especially superintendent and mayor. So when he come out with that question and say, why you think, your administration, will you allow superintendents and mayor to be elected? I think Steve need to contact some of us who to discuss this thing here most of the time, because you guys that follow me, you know I discuss these things here. Our country run on a constitution. Since 1847 Constitution to the 1986 Constitution, it has proven that the government, both that were in power when that Constitution was established and revised, they rejected what I would describe as decentralization reform program, where they would give power to the different counties to elect their own superintendents. So I'm addressing most of the question now, and we'll come to Cummings' own. I think what Moses you have said to Cummings, Mr. Cummings here, it has been a long history of presidential autocracy, just appointing people. All right, let's forget about the autocracy. President elected, just appointing mayor across the counties and appointing superintendent across the county. Your Cummings administration, what will you do? Cummings, what will you do? All right, what will you do? Now, the way Cummings will answer the question, let's listen to him, all right? But that's what he should ask Cummings, because when Cummings come to power, Cummings, if he believe in decentralization, the way he will answer the question, say, look, Moses, and like I said, I'm not going to answer the question, but let's listen to Cummings now, because the question has been put forward. But I just want to let you know that Moses should ask the question, what will he do when he is elected president as it relates to superintendent and mayor being elected? What will you do? But he cannot say, will you appoint or will you allow people to run? No. That question, the way he asked that question, it shows that Cummings is just a monarchy, or Liberian governance system is just a monarchy where when you become president, you have the right to say people should go vote or people should not vote. No, that is something that he dropped the ball on. All right. So let me progress here.
I think that should be our destination, our goal, that ultimately people are electing their local leaders. I think we got to do it gradually. We got to do it in a plan.
Now, let me say this here. All right. Let me say this here. It comes. How can you be a leader? Let me ask my man Melvin Cordell here and every one of you guys here. So you listen to come and answer the question. I think you want to be president, and somebody asking you whether you support the idea of mayor and superintendent being elected, and then you tell him, say, I think, that is very inconsistent. That is lack of confidence. You want to see a change, right? And you're going to say, I think. I don't care how diplomatic you want to put it. You got to stand behind it and don't stand side by side. I think the better way he should have started that, Moses, yes, I'll support superintendents and mayor being elected. But when you say, I think, then you're not sure. Come up with your definite answer and be bold. Because your boldness will embolden the people to know they're right. But when you say, I think, so keep that I think and let's listen to him more.
But the answer is yes, that should be the destination. That should be the goal, to have local citizens elect their local leaders so they can hold them accountable. I don't think it's something you just flip a switch, you just do it overnight. But I think we plan it, we organize it, we make sure we got the demographic information correct. So, Steve, you want a critical mass in a city or in a district or in a town. You want to make sure that national ID, national identification system, right? That's something we need.
So let me hold you guys there. Did you really understand what Cummings just say? Did you understand that? It's not a switch that you can just flip up and down, right? He makes sense in that direction. But when he talk about voter registration, when he talk about let's look at the program, first of all, Cummings don't even understand the documents, the process involved, what I would describe as decentralization reform program. Cummings got no clue about decentralization reform program. How many of you guys know about the good governance, the GC, that it must control? The GC was established right after the end of the war. That good governance commission agency they got, part of the responsibility was to look at good governance. Whoever is on top of that good governance supposed to provide guidance to the president. Ellen Johnson said he did not really support that idea because she wanted to micromanage the county's governance. That included the superintendents and the mayor. So she didn't support that. She put Amos over there and he sat down over there. I think so far the question that was posted to Cummings, the way he should answer the question, yes, Steve, I support and I will ensure that Liberians across the different counties, I will make sure that my government will work with the national legislature to make sure that superintendents and mayor are elected. Here's one reason. People in the counties right now are electing their superintendents, are electing their representative, and they're electing their senators, right? But Cummings did not go there. He didn't make sense with that. Now he's talking about photo ID registration, photo ID this, but you listen to him earlier when he was explaining his trip about going to the West, how he went to Nima to support another candidate who is on the CPP ticket that is about to be elected, but he didn't tell you about voter ID registration. My friend, read right down here. Read right here. Alexander Cummings hint Liberians that he will avoid decentralization governance reform program. That's the hint he giving you. If Cummings become president, he will not support the idea of having superintendent and mayor elected. Because if he did, he will say, you know what, we already got a template. We got representatives in the county that have been elected by the same people. We got senators. So why is he saying? You feel me? So why is he saying now? What is he saying? When you are already seeing elected officials coming from the county, they are not appointed by the president, but they are elected by the same people. But he wants to reinvent the wheel. And you and I know that he cannot reinvent the wheel. He's not ready. He is not ready. because he doesn't understand how things work. All you should, I told the guy, look, we are going to look at the GC Commission. There are a lot of recommendations in there. So I'm going to utilize the CPP again that got many members in the national legislature. And we're going to come up with a law and follow the same pattern that the people across the county are using to elect representative and to elect senator. It's the same people that will be voting for superintendent and mayor. What difference does that make to say we have to take our step? Cummings love power. Cummings is coming from a corporation where they have regional directors. When he was in Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa, the CEO of Coca-Cola, Cummings was reporting to him. And when Cummings was in that region, he had people in different areas that he could pick up the phone and call them, yo, my man, yes, I want you to do this for me. Hold on here, let me see the phone here. Hold on here, guys. There you go. Pick up the phone. Yeah, my man, yeah, I want for you to do something for me. That is what we call micromanaging. Cummings is not discussing the issue of decentralization reform program. So let me say this to you. Cummings is not going to support decentralization. Yes, he's not. That's one of the reasons why I always ask them for their political party statement of purpose. Because that political party statement of purpose will tell you exactly what their intentions are. My brothers and sisters, listen to me. Liberians who you find across the social media, they are not learning what you're learning from this show here every time. They are not learning those things. You are part of the 20% group, my friend, and the 80% out there are only into political entertainment. What I'm giving you today, think about what I just said when it comes to Cummings' third question. How will you support, what will you do when it comes to superintendent and mayor? You already seen people electing representative from their counties. You almost see senator being elected. So where is Cummings coming from that we must play with this? You see, Cummings is being very dishonest with the democratic process. Liberia is not fully at 100% democratic practices. We are getting there, but we're not 100%. The little percent that is left, superintendent and mayor election is within that little percentage that we need to catch on. But Cummings is not telling you. Cummings will not change it. Let's listen to him more.
We'll go to a central database so we know, you will know Steve, we know he lives in Sacramento, we know everything about him. And we put those basics in place, yes, we should decentralize the government even more, including elections of city mayors and other local officials. But again, I'm a strong believer is you gotta crawl before you walk, before you run. But
so are we not crawling right now? Are we not crawling? Yes, we are crawling, right? Senator redrew the political map where we started having more representatives. The same people that voted for what? The representative from CPP from other counties will be the same people that will vote for what? The same superintendent in the county and the mayor. So what the heck Cummings is talking about here, friends? What the heck is he talking about? He has no clue. He don't even know that a good governance commission document exists. He's not even understanding himself that representative. You see, your eyes can see things, but if your mind don't process it, you will be in the blind. Cummings see representative and Cummings. You see why it was so important for Cummings to start as a representative and then or a senator to understand how government works. That one of his limitations right there. He cannot even articulate to you how his comparison to we need to have a central database, we don't have it. You already got a process in place. Whether it is not working well or it is not efficient, but at least it's showing some progress in it, where representatives and senators are being elected across the country. So when it comes to superintendent, are you going to get different people to vote for them? No. All you got to do is to improve the voting process. But we'll welcome that. But Cummings don't want superintendent to have their own will, my friend. You can forget it. That'll be progress.
Yeah, I'll go. That should be our destination. You don't want to do it when the system is already, we fuss about voter registration, about all the cheating in the current structure, right? So let's fix it. Let's go to a national ID card system. or you want to get your passport, you want to get your driver's.
All right, so let me give you this hypothetical recommendation. Sam Cummings is saying voter registration issue, this issue. What about him just waiting until we face the entire general election process? Why a bugger then can say, look, Cummings, you know what, Cummings? Let me say this to you. You know, the whole CPP thing we in here, we ain't got a real ID card stuff here. We ain't got it in here. So let's just wait. Say our bugger ahead of it in here. Let's wait until we sell the database. Cummings will say no to that. My point here is, Cummings know very well that we have an election process in place. It may have flaws in it, but it's making progress. But he's telling you, as long as it comes to electing superintendents and mayor, oh, my man, you know what? Let's just wait here. Let's make sure we get a database and do this. But what difference is it making now with the same people in the county that are voting for their representative? What difference is it making? The Taiwan he was supporting in Nimande. What difference is it making now? I mean, it make that he's trying to suggest here. You see, Mr. Cummings is getting to know now that to be president of Liberia, you got too many leverage, power. All right? Yes, you got too many power. So I want to be president so that I can come out of the superintendent. Yes. But what about asking me the question here for? Let me play with him, man, small. You know, we got to take a baby step. Baby got to lay on their back, on their tummy. They got to learn to crawl before they walk, before they run. So you know that the baby step we should take. So Moses was like, Moses, you are asking, say, just a follow-up, Mr. Cummings. So what about the people who have been elected, whether they are representative or senator, and they are within the CPP? Do you think we need to take a baby step or we need to improve the process? And fact-checking over there. But you know what? One thing I noticed about the show today, and you'll see in the next question section, those guys are in the pocket of the opposition. And that's why they will not come to me, because they know me already. They discuss. They say, that guy, whatever, don't go to that guy. Let's listen more.
If you want to buy land to get your pension to vote, let's get a common system. Then we should think about how we centralize and get local elections for our.
You know what? That's not that.
I think that makes sense, right? And let's.
He asking the guy, I think that makes sense. You come in with your suggestion, then you tell the man, I think that makes sense. Cummings is not a bold president. And you see, the part before, I think that makes sense. Since 1847, the government in the past, they have always said to the people of Liberia, gentlemen, you got to wait here. And what year is it? Oh, this is 1890. All right. 1890, you know, you just gotta wait here until we can get all the voting documents together before we start appointing superintendent. Close your eye, 1957. Gentlemen, yeah, what year is it? 1957. You just wait here until we will get all the process together. Then we'll start electing the superintendent. Boom, 2006. You just wait here until we can get all the documents together. Then we'll start electing superintendent. 2021. Cummings, you just wait here until we can get all the documents together. How old is Liberia? 174 years old. Do you think they care? No. How you think you started driving? Were you a perfect driver? Everything that you did at your first step, were you perfect at it? No. How do you become a very perfect person? By learning it and practicing it every day. No democracy on the face of the planet came perfect. Every day people are revising things, they are improving things. But in Cummings' minds, let it wait until we see it working as a perfect system. No, there is no perfect system. Even in America here. What we always say here, the left hand don't know what right hand does. They may call you today and say, oh, everything is clear, go to another phone call. The system don't work perfectly. You got to keep fighting to make it work. But Cummings want the system to be perfect. You know how long it will take. Let close your eyes and let me close mine and let's look at Cummings government. Cummings become president. That election of superintendent and mayor, you know how long it will take? It will take 3 years for him to establish a database system. It will take 4 years for him to find ways to train the people. Cummings will be done for the first 6 years. Then it will go to the second 6 years. Oh yeah, we'll take another 3 years to train the people and evaluate them. By the time you know 12 years old, man, I see you guys. Goodbye. Labrador will be maybe 200, maybe 81 years old now. No. The fact that we got the process of electing our representative and our senator is a working system. Just bring an addition to that and begin to improve the process. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. But Cummings is just being dishonest to what the Liberian people need. Cummings don't want total democracy in Liberia. He wants a partial democracy because he has seen the gravy in it now. Let me progress.
Right. Otherwise, we multiply the issues we have and all the allegations of cheating and all that kind of. So let's fix the system, then let people vote for the local leaders.
A little bit because I keep labels, but
now I want you to listen to this girl. You know, female are very smart people. Female are very, very smart people. This girl is coming with a very important question, and I believe it was from this question that those who sent me the video clip, when that question was asked to coming from the girl, those of you who follow me and send me the video, you were like, aha, this is what Randy been talking about. Let's see how that thought came that I'm trying to describe to you right now. All right, ready? Let's go.
Second, for me on the spot, let me just ask one question. I listened briefly to, I think you had a town hall meeting in Minnesota. I think it was Friday night or something, right? Something like in the backyard or something. You guys were hanging out there. And you talked about your 100 days plan. Some notes that I took from there was auditing what you receive. I said, yeah, somebody's going to get a baseline so they know how to go forward. One thing you also talk about microcredit and, you know, a couple of things. So based on what I heard, I went to your website.
Now, what the girl did, what she did, there are smart Liberian female out there, and the girl is one of them. You know what I say? Don't take my word for it. You listen to her. She said she listened to Cummings on her balcony talk, and he talked about his first 100 days in office, what he would do. That girl, she lived in the United States of America. She don't live in the United States of Liberians. She heard what Cummings said, and you heard it from her here. But what did she do? She trusted what Cummings said, but she went to do what? Verify. Listen to what she saw when she went for the verification. I love this. It's so sweet to my soul. Because if we had thousands of that girl, you will not find plenty of people wasting their time on other platforms because it will be checking and it will be verifying. Listen to that girl.
And went to the Facebook page to say, okay, let me tie all of this to see if I see it on the website or it's on the Facebook. So it's not there. So is it coming soon?
Yeah. So
now you see what she did? She's very smart because they are all part of the Cummings team. She said she listened to Cummings say about 100 days, and Cummings, she went and checked it out, but it did not turn out what Cummings was saying. It wasn't there. And here where she asked what we call leading the question. I can pick somebody right now. Christopher Kamara. All right? Christopher Kamara. All right? He said a lot of contradiction in Cummings analysis talk. He doesn't look trusted. So let me ask Christopher Kamara here. Christopher Kamara, my question to you here. All right? You promised the people what you're going to do, right? Yeah, you say you promised, and I promise you guys to do this thing. And then when it turned out that it is not there, do you think you can be trusted, Christopher? I'm just picking you arbitrarily now. You know, it's just an arbitrary pick. I'm not picking, I'm just giving an example. So when she went out there and said, I checked, but I couldn't see the thing. And then what she did, like again, Christopher, I know you need a Christopher A. Kamara. So she said, I went there and I didn't find anything on your website or on your Facebook page. Then this is where she helped Cummings. She said, it's coming in. It's just like me asking Christopher Kamara here. Say, my man, ain't you new Christopher Kamara? Yes. You new Christopher Kamara? Yes. That's why it is. What Christopher Kamara is saying here, you will never be trusted. Christopher Kamara, let me just take a break and address Christopher Kamara. Christopher Kamara, I don't want to be trusted. I don't want to be trusted. I'm just here to tell the truth. I don't live in Liberia, and I'm not intending going to Liberia. I don't support no political party right now. I speak the truth. I'm not in anybody's pocket. So whatever your ego is leading you to, Christopher Kamara, I'm sorry. My education got me to where I am, Christopher. Oh, all right, Christopher. Thank you. He said, now you. All right, I take that back, Christopher. I take that back. I thought you were bringing that to me, but that's fine. That's what we call friendly fire. So let me take that back. But let me say this. When she asked Cummings, so you getting a new one? Is it coming soon? Is what we call leading the witness. Like I was using Christopher before I went to address him, but it was a friendly fire. After she said she looked up there and she didn't find nothing, then she turned around and said, so it coming soon? She literally helping him to answer the question. It's like me looking at Christopher and say, Christopher, is your name Christopher A. Kamara? I know that he need Christopher A. Kamara, but I see Christopher and your name Christopher A. Kamara. Yeah, my name Christopher A. Kamara. That's what she did to Cummings. She fact-checked him, nothing was there, but then she said, is it coming soon? And guess what? Cummings fell for it straight. Yeah, it's coming soon. But in reality, Cummings is not aware of his surrounding. They asked about who left from CDC and went to Cummings. He had been there now for almost 2 months now, I guess. He had not even done any assessment to determine where Cummings is in terms of information dissemination. But guess what? Cummings is a linear learner. You know what a linear learner is? You tell them, hey, you need Christopher Kamara, yeah, then you go around. Yeah, that's Christopher Kamara, or my man over there. And you start seeing the thing, I have to say that you already know Christopher Kamara. And that's exactly how Cummings come to answer a question. So listen to Cummings right now.
It was in Maryland. I was in the backyard. You're right. Yeah, in Maryland. Although we had a town hall meeting here last night too in Minnesota. But we need to update our website and my Facebook page.
So listen to this, guys. All the years Cummings spent in Liberia. So that means everything the ANC people have been telling us is all lies. Where is Thomas Awaji? Because Thomas Awaji has been asking questions just like me and the rest of you guys. Where is your plan? They ain't got none. They ain't got none. So you see all the guys who outside here talking for ANC, they don't even know what happened in ANC. And today their leader came out. So embarrassed. So embarrassed. Because they get fact-checking. You see, Cummings is getting to understand that many Liberians, they don't do fact-checking of things. They only fall for things. But that guy took him by surprise today. And he had no other option but to open a confession that we're going to update. We're going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, haven't we on the show here continue asking them for the political party statement of purpose? They ain't got it. That's why they don't respond. But thank God Cummings on this one. Let's be honest with him and get at least a C- that he confessed to that. Let's listen more.
I have a 100-day plan, and I'm happy to talk about it now. Some of the items in there.
So now he ready to talk about the 100-day plan now. Now you ready? All the time he was talking, all the platform he been on, he talked about 100-day plan. By the time they get fact-checking, then he ready to talk about 100-day plan. Listen to him again.
Our mission, vision, brochure with all of our priorities. And so we need to update our website. What I'll do is I will send it to Sekou.
He is literally saying he will send it to Sekou. Not even the link. You see how they got them fucked up? Cummings, who call himself corporate. This is where when Costa ready to grade Cummings, this is Costa should not focus on Cummings' character. He should focus on Cummings' ability to perform on a piece of job, like what I'm doing right now. Don't go after the man and say the man did. Don't insult the man. Listen to what the man say and analyze how he doing it. This is the man who from corporate America for Jesus Christ's sake. And he doesn't even know what goes on around him as far as a political platform, a political message. Who is a PR out there that will post his 100-day message out there? But until he gets fact checked, now he telling nigga, I will send it to Sekou, my man. I lied to you. I will send it to you. I pay my bill. I come to fax it right now. What the fax number? You see how incompetent Cummings is when it comes to managing leadership. And ANC people, I'm sorry, the last time I was against Costa was saying crap about Cummings, but that's just me. It Costa one because you see, Cummings survived in America because America is a structured system. Every one of us here, we got different training programs that we can go through every year. People monitor the program and help us to go through them by reminding us. It is called a structured environment. But now Cummings is not in a structured environment he by himself. So things are now working for him. And that's why he's making all the mistakes. But what will make Cummings to be an exceptional person from corporate America is his ability to take those same skills from here and begin to utilize it no matter where he goes. He don't have that. Think about a soccer player who play in Africa, got exported to Europe, and still play a better game and do well. Cummings don't have that skill. So you don't even know what's going around now. Now he trying to get, oh, let me talk my 100-day plan. No. No, Cummings. Not because she said it and you want to react. We call that linear learner. He learned when he sees it and he learned it. He learned it. He is a linear learner. That's who he is. Yes. So let me progress here, folks. Let me progress here.
So you can know it exists. I'm not just making it up. But we need to update our social media pages with that information. But on the other plan, very quickly though, since you asked the question and raised it, one of the first things we do, and you're correct, is we'll set a baseline. We'll ask the appropriate agencies, the LACC, the General Accounting Office, all to do an audit of what we inherited. It's not meant to be a witch hunt. We're not telling them to go after anybody particularly, but let's just do an audit. Let's establish a baseline so that people can know what we're inheriting from the government we're replacing.
Now, after this, it's time for the callers to call. You're going to enjoy the one again. Yes, you are about to enjoy the one. So the panelists, they are almost wrapping up their question. Now the callers, especially from back home, they are about to call. I want you to pay attention to that as well too, because it's very key to Cummings' incompetence and Cummings' dishonesty. Is Cummings 100% incompetent? No, he needs to tweak himself. He needs to bring smart people around him. You see, one of the mistakes that George Weah made today, there were good people in the CDC, well professional people, and there were not so good people in the CDC government. But the mistake George Weah made, he went for the wrong people in the CDC and left out the good CDC. And that's why making George Weah struggling today. Opposition out there, you got good people, not so good people. You'll learn from George Weah's mistake. You'll make sure you pick among your people, the right people who will help you. Right now, Cummings got people around him who are not helping him to do the right thing. That embarrassing question of not updating the webpage is one of the worst things that Cummings has ever faced in his political career, because he cannot verify things that he say out there. It's not on his webpage. That's a shame. So let's listen again. Let us listen. All right. Let us listen to. All right. Let us listen. All right. Let us listen here.
We declare our assets. We'll make it public. Liberian people will know how much resources, money we come into government with. And so when we're leaving, we can declare as well, and Liberians can see the difference, right? But we establish a base on all of those things. And as I mentioned, with the Institute of National Youth Service Program, for young people, I can describe that if we have time, what that looks like. We'll provide credit for Liberian businesses, particularly women businesses, microcredit. See, those are things that you can do quickly to start showing results, because some of the other things will take a time. To fix the educational system, it will not happen overnight. To invest in agriculture, I mentioned to Steve's question in rural Liberia.
Did you hear him? That's another valid point for George. We are election again. So Cummings now is telling the Liberian people, macro economic credit going to market women, that is the quick fix. When you're hearing Cummings to fix education, it's not difficult. We are people, you need to record these things, because seditions are in battle many times with opposition. You're hearing it from Cummings, right? To fix the education system is difficult. To fix the agricultural system is difficult. But now the supporters of CPP, they always come on air, oh, CDC don't do that, CDC. So you need to capture these things and say, you know what? Your man Cummings is telling you that to fix the educational system that we're struggling to face, listen to him. Listen to what he said. And let me play that for you guys again. All right, let's go back again.
It was in Maryland. I was in the backyard. You're right. Yeah, in Maryland. Although we had a town hall meeting here last night too in Minnesota. But we need to update our website and my Facebook page. We do have a 100-day plan, and I'm happy to talk about it now. Some of the items in there. We also have a mission, vision brochure with all of our priorities. And so we need to update our website. What I'll do is I will send it to Siku right away so you can know it exists. I'm not just making it up. But we need to update our social media pages with that information. But on the 100-day plan, very quickly though, since you asked the question and raised it, one of the first things we do, and you're correct, is we'll set a baseline. We'll ask the appropriate agencies, the LACC, the General Accounting Office, all of to do an audit of what we inherited. It's not meant to be a witch hunt. We're not telling them to go after anybody particularly, but let's just do an audit. Let's establish a baseline so that people can know what we're inheriting from the government we're replacing. Just like we declare our assets, we'll make it public. Liberian people will know how much resources, money we come into government with. And so when we're leaving, we can declare it as well. And Liberians can see the difference, right? But we establish a base on all of those things. And as I mentioned, with the Institute of National Youth Service Program, for young people, I can describe that if we have time, what that looks like. We'll provide credit for Liberian businesses, particularly women businesses, microcredit. See, those are things that you can do quickly to start showing results, because some of the other things will take a time. To fix the educational system, it will not happen overnight. To invest in agriculture, I mentioned to Steve's question in rural Liberia, that would take time. So we need to do some of these things that you can do.
So you see that, CDC? That is a very valid point for you guys during the campaign. Cummings is acknowledging that to fix the educational system is not going to be fixed anytime soon. He's not even giving you a timeline, whether it's going to take 2 years, 3 years. He's telling you that to even fix the agricultural system is not going to take time. I mean, it's not going to be a quick fix. So then why are they coming after George Weah and his people? Even though George Weah got a lot of incompetent people over there. What I want to say to you guys, Edition, you already got a case to argue. Cummings is part of the CPP. If they start coming after you guys, you need to take the very recording and go out there and inform the Liberian people that what we sedition, our government is doing now, we already ahead of the game. How? Listen to what Cummings is saying. Cummings is saying that it will take time for the educational system, the healthcare, the education will take time to be fixed. So we already ahead of the fixing things. So when will he come to start his own? Because he already said it. Cummings making a lot of big mistakes that will give CDC an upper hand. What kind of thing then, why it is true, it's real, you don't say that kind of thing. You don't say that kind of thing. But because Cummings got wrong people that advise him, and I'm going to give my advice. Folks, let me tell you guys one thing. I've been in Liberian politics since 2010. I always ask you guys the question, where were you in 2010? This is 2021. That's 11 years ago. I have followed Liberian politics throughout. You come to my house here, there are boxes all around here, BB boxes. I got document upon document in it. And my children can say, Daddy, that's the whole stuff. I got documents since I started finding Liberian politics. Those are old documents. I keep them. I don't shred them. Cummings is very inexperienced. Let me progress.
Have quickly back so Liberians can start to see a difference. But we want to do this based on audit. Yeah, I'm still on the line. Let's see if we can please.
Now the callers are about to call, guys. Please listen very carefully, because every caller, what I did was they all call. In fact, what they did was they allow all the callers to make put their question forward, comments, and then later on comments answer. But during the QA section, during the question answer, the question, I will pause to explain a few things to you guys. All right, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there to the end of the show. We're almost there. So just hold tight. This is the last session, and we'll be done. All right. So hold tight.
Hello. Yeah, my message is sending actually. 30 seconds. Go ahead. Yeah. This was good, Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings, you have people within the city to consider you over again. Because remember, in 2017, we also fought against the single government. We caught them all sorts of them. We caught them criminals, have squandered our resources, and now you are partaking with the same people that you want for criminals on 2017. And you are not fast. 30 seconds.
So they call the guy off. All right, they call him off because the guy came out. He said, Cummings, in 2017, when you were running as an independent ANC guy, you castigated the Unity Party people, called them criminal, thief, but now you are with them. So what the guy then did, they decided to cut the guy off. 30 seconds. The guy not even returned 15 seconds yet, they cutting him off. So that means I did not encourage the guy question. But keep in mind, Cummings will respond to that question. But what I want you to think about here is, Cummings said we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. But he's hanging out with Ure, Boka, and the others who have been doing the same thing over and over. And that's why that guy question was alluding to. What kind of honest person are you, Cummings, when you continue to hang with these very guys that you despise and, humiliated? Let's go to the next question.
Hello? Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Lumo Jara.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I want to ask Mr. Cummings, do you believe that any person was actually corrupt? If so, if yes, figure out some facts.
Do you?
So now I want you to listen to this question, because this is the one that stands out the most. This is the one that stands out the most. All right? The audio you listen to from the beginning of the show, you are now coming to see the bigger picture. And it's because of the question the guy asked. And the guy who is in the studio is about to repeat that question. The caller called and asked Cummings, do you believe that the NA administration is corrupt? If yes, give us some facts. You will be very, very surprised if you had not watched the show already, or if you did, but you didn't capture what I'm about to tell you, that Cummings is very dishonest, and I will prove that to you once the the Q section, that the question is over and he's done with the answer. While he's providing the answer, I got two information to share with you that will prove that Cummings is very, very dishonest. So listen to the guy in the studio. He is about to repeat that important question. And I think he knew that that question was so vital, so important, that he decided to repeat that question. Because the other callers, he never repeated their question because it was just like a general question. But this question is too hard to be the best. Listen to how he's going to answer the question.
If former President Eddie Johnson said if government were corrupt, if yes, you should get it fast?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, let's have this other call on the. I will do so.
So he's about to answer the question now, right? So let's pay attention here. Pay keen attention, and I will draw you to what I want you to understand as well.
I promise to come back. So, but there was a question about, the caller said people don't understand alteration, they understand change. So I guess my answer to that question is, and I asked that question at the beginning of the program, let the accusers tell Liberian people what will change. That's the ultimate question. So I agree, it's about change, right? So, but they are accusing me. So I'm saying to you that I didn't change anything. So since they're accusing me, let them tell you where we change. Simple. Where we change.
So he was answering the question about someone who called and said alteration and change are two different things. So we'll not go into that. But because of the consistency in the answering the question, I decided to include what he is explaining now. So that is a very insignificant part for our show tonight. So right after that, he will be going into the question that were asked. All right. So please don't be confused on there, especially if you're watching this particular audio for the first time.
Lawyers didn't give us. That's so let us answer that question. It's a fair question. It's the right question, by the way. To the caller. The question on gay rights, look, we will follow the Constitution of Liberia. We'll follow the will, the norms, and the culture of Liberian people. And so with regards to gay rights, that's not where Liberians are. That's not our culture. That's not consistent with our Constitution. And we will make sure we do what is consistent with the will of our people, our Constitution, etc., with regards to gay rights. There were sort of two questions related to the association with the UP, the corruption.
Very good. So now, guys, he is about to answer the question. Remember the question? Can he tell the Liberian people if the early UP government was corrupt? And can he provide some facts? You're going to be very amazed how Cummings is going to twist that question. That answer, but we will untwist it for him. Listen, guys, this is where the dishonesty comes from, and I'll provide you another clue to why and how he answered that question. So let's listen to him.
UP government of the past, etc., what I say to that is, in the 2017 elections, I don't know if I said that on the show earlier in the town hall last night. The CDC leader, President Weah, when asked to grade the UP government in 2017, he gave it 80%, 8 out of 10 performance. I think I gave him a 6 or 6.5 or something like that. So I was actually tougher in grading that government than the current president is today, just to put those facts out there. There was clearly allegations of corruption in the former government, as there are allegations of corruption in this government today. This corruption thing has been in Liberia unfortunately for too long. And this is what we have to change. But the country is where it is. You have to meet the country where it is before you can change it. And so we got to meet the country where it is before we move forward in terms of.
So the question was, is the Ellen government corrupt? They didn't ask Mr. Cummings, what do you make of Weah giving 80% to Ellen? Because the Unity Party 12-year leadership was headed by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Cummings is not brave enough to criticize Ellen. Here is the reason. Cummings is on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Presidential Center for Women and Development. So while it is true that question was direct to Cummings, Cummings was also honored by Ellen. He received the highest honor. So Cummings decided to make you guys to believe in his mind, oh, we are gave Ellen 80% and I gave Ellen 6%. He feels that answer is comfortable for you guys, but not for us on the show here. If the question was flipped around, whether that were we are, and it's coming very soon, right after my explanation, we'll listen to that one. See how Cummings will answer that question. The reason Cummings did not say Ellen government was XYZ because Cummings is on the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Presidential Center for Women and Development. That's where Cummings is. And do you think you're going to criticize Ellen to say Ellen was corrupt? No. But think about this. No car went down on Ellen Wash, right? Yes, no car went bankrupt on Ellen Wash. Mismanagement. Many other corruption took place on Ellen Wash, but Cummings cannot provide those information to the people. But he wouldn't come to tell you that, oh, we are getting 80% and I get 6%. So to him, and why he want you guys to believe to that question that Ellen government was corrupt. I wouldn't getting 6%, but we are getting 87%. He's generalizing rather than giving specific to what it is, all because of what you see right here. The man is very dishonest to what he thinks he wants you to believe. He's not standing for the truth. Cummings know that Ellen was very corrupt, but because Ellen got him in her corner, he's not going to do anything. And when you see Bernard Ewing, Joe Biden going against Cummings, here is one good reason behind that. He's honorable, and he will not dump that woman. So let me progress here.
Okay. There was a question around reconciliation. I think I answered that earlier. That I think my fellow Liberians, once again.
All right. So he mentioned something about corruption. I don't know where you captured that. He mentioned something about corruption. He accused, in fact, I think I need to play that for you guys quickly here. Let me see why I can play that here for you guys. Let's listen to that part.
So since they're accusing me, let them tell you where we changed. Simple. Where we changed that the lawyers didn't give us. That's so let them answer that question. It's a fair question. It's the right question, by the way, to the caller. The question on gay rights, look, we will follow the Constitution of Liberia. We'll follow the will, the norms, and the culture of Liberian people. And so with regards to gay rights, that's not where Liberians are. That's not our culture. That's not consistent with our Constitution. And we will make sure we do what is consistent with the will of our people, our Constitution, etc., with regards to gay rights. There were sort of two questions related to the association with the UP, the corruption in the UP government of the past, etc., You know, what I say to that is, in the 2017 elections, I don't know if I said that on the show earlier or in the town hall last night, the CDC leader, President Weah, when asked to grade the UP government in 2017, he gave it 80%, 8 out of 10 performance. I think I gave him a 6 or 6.5 or something like that. So I was actually tougher in grading that government than the current president is today, just to put those facts out there. There was clearly allegations of corruption in the former government, as there are allegations of corruption in this government today.
Now you see, that's the part we forgot to catch. The second answer he provided when it comes to corruption, he said there were corruption in the past government as there as what? Alleged corruption in the Weah government. Now, you know why he answered that question that way? Because the boy who asked that question combined the issue of corrupt practices. Ellen government was corrupt. Weah government has been through a lot of evaluation, financial audit. They are not proven to be corrupt. But in the past, Alexander Cummings came out so many times and just squarely said the Weah government is corrupt. Here is the proof here for you. Listen to this now. Remember the clip you listened to from the beginning? But he just said there are corruption and there are alleged corruption. The reason he using that legal term alleged because the question included Ellen corruption and included Weah corruption. So he cannot say Weah is 100% corrupt and Ellen is allegedly corrupt. So he combined both of them and said they are both alleged corruption. My question to you here is, why is he saying from this question that Weah and Ellen corrupt practices is now being considered as alleged when the video you're about to listen to says otherwise? Listen to comments here now.
My fellow Liberians, once again, The careless and irresponsible attitude of the Liberian government is being exposed. Under this George Weah-led government, Liberia continues to be internationally disgraced, shamed, and laughed at. Giving people justice and ending impunity are not issues over which any responsible government ought to wait to be publicly chastised by its international partners. These are things responsible governments do to cleanse the soul of a nation and to keep countries secure, stable, and peaceful. We've all seen what it means for our country to break down and become lawless. And so, Liberia does not need to wait and be reminded to do things we need to do to build a more just society that will punish crimes. This is the only way to make our society truly law-abiding. However, it is hard to stop stealing in government when the people who should be stopping the stealing and setting the good examples by not stealing are actually the rogues. It is also hard.
There you go. So, in this audio, he accused the Weah government of being the rogue. But the question he answered, he's seeing that they are into alleged corruption because the question blended early into that process. You see how inconsistent and how dishonest Cummings is becoming in answering questions? That's coming there for you guys. So let me say a big thank you to every one of you guys. I have gone almost 21 minutes over the time here. So I come to the end of the show. There are other things I wanted to present, but because of time, we will come another time to discuss that. So let me say a big thank you to every one of you guys, for coming here. I appreciate your time. Please share the video. This show now is also on YouTube and is being shared on my YouTube channel. It is called the J. Randy. Let's see here. It's called the J. Randy Free Voice. So we are now on the J. Randy Free Voice on YouTube. So let me say thank you. Oh, my man Eric was here today. Thank you so much. So you listened to the presentation, and I would like to thank you guys so much for the opportunity. As always, you guys are my trusted people, and I highly appreciate you guys all the time. I feel very, very happy when I see you guys come here for to provide good analysis. So thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you guys. You guys are my friends, my brothers, my sister. Y'all have a pleasant night. I know my man Henry Yango is already here Sunday. We are chasing our home here. And I think the people in Liberia is almost like 2:24, I guess, or 2:20, 2:23. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It's time for me to go and do something else now. Thank you guys so much, and salute to you guys. J. Randy is out. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. See you guys hopefully by tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye to every one of you guys. Thank you. Bye.